All right. Mic check, mic check, mic check. More Masters Podcast, just made, of course. Hey, man, back with another Thinking Out Loud. Real quick, I want to say, man, shout out to all the supporters, all the listeners. Yo, every week I get this feedback. I get emails at my YouTube, my Instagram, my Facebook, my Snapchat, my Twitter. It's always great. Like anytime I never see them like, oh, here we go, okay, the person. No, it's like every comment means something to me. So when y'all comment and y'all share, y'all write pieces under my status or under the video, or y'all share with your own pieces, like it means a lot to me, and I don't take it for granted at all. Like none of it at all. I don't take it for granted at all. I don't know where I would be if I didn't have the support that I have. When it comes to More Than Masters, it keeps me going. It makes me want to go harder. Like even today, I went super hard today just because I feel like I'm doing things that the people need. This is how I feel. I'll be honest with you. Like, I don't know. The amount of support is always great, man. So, man, shout out to y'all, man. I couldn't do it without y'all. Sorry, had to fix something. With that being said, though, I had two events, man, I went to today, man. I snuck out and went to them events, and I'm glad I did. So, first of all, I got a Ben and Sister shirt on. You know, I'm a big supporter of Ben and Sister, of course. Always have been, always will be. Shout out to Ben and Sister. They threw a back-to-school event today. It was super, super, super dope. A lot of vendors was there. A lot of kids was there. Great turnout. One thing I want to say about those kind of events is a lot of times people see these events, right? And they don't see the amount of work behind the scenes that go into these events. You know, you go, even me, I go out, I might show up, I'll, record, take some videos, some pictures, and that's it. I'm like, okay, great event. But for the person that got to throw this event, it's a lot of preparation. Then it's a lot of letdowns, a lot of things that fall through, plans that fall through, a lot of plan B, plan C, plan Ds, a lot of decision making, a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of calls, a lot of politicking. All that stuff goes into these events to make sometimes just a good event. This was a great event. So, you got to commend that type of work, that type of service that people give to the community, man. So shout out to Ben and Sisters once again. I'm sorry. Let me slow down. Shout out to Ben and Sisters once again, right? And y'all continue to keep doing that great work for the community. Another person I want to give a shout out to is Miss Natalie Bryan, who was actually on the podcast, right? She's a therapist and mental health therapist, and she threw an event for mental health, right? Dope event. A lot of knowledge was in that building. I just did many interviews for people outside to kind of promote not only the event, but to promote their brand and what they do. And because I strongly believe that in our community, that we need to seek that therapy, which I'm gonna get into later on. But we need to seek that therapy. A lot of times we go through things, and like me as a man, I can tell you right now, I'll go through something and I just go through. Anybody that know me know that I shut everybody out. I shut down. I go through it alone, and I get out of it. But am I really out of it? Am I, or is it just behind me until it come in front of me again? Right? Learned a lot. Got a lot of connections. That is going to be some great content to come out. Even though it's minute and a half interviews, I feel like they said a lot about what they do, and just the fact that I can get what they offer on camera and put it out mean a lot to me. So shout out to Miss Natalie Bryan again for throwing an amazing event. Hers was downtown as well. Just two dope black women that threw amazing events, man. And I'm happy to have known them, be a part of what they, or help be a part of what they're trying to build. And one thing about me, I'm always overextend until I can. I'm always gonna overextend. So shout out to them for throwing great events. Both had a lot of mishaps, a lot of fall throughs. I think Ms. Natalie said her photographer ended up getting rained, they couldn't come in. So like, damn, the fact that I'm able to break away from what I was doing, come there, do that, it's just dope, man. And that's just a testament to what I do too. Like I work in Aiken. Like I'm always say I work in Aiken, man. It's 45 minutes away from Augusta, all right? So me even sneaking out, leaving, coming, it take a lot to do that. To have my battery ready, have my setup ready, my lights, my camera, all that stuff, it take a lot. And to still go back and continue to work, it's a lot. But I do this for the people. You know what I'm saying? It's More Than Masters, baby. All right? Let me get something to drink real quick. Pull up, man. Oh, real quick, I wanted to say this, man. I ain't gonna spend too much time on it because I gotta spend time on something else that's important to me. Shout out to all the single mothers out there, right? All the parents that are trying to fill shoes that aren't there. Let's just say that to say the least, right? And one other thing I want to say, I made a post the other day about my mom, and it made and something. It's things that I've seen in the last month or some change with different people and different moms who are raising kids, whether it's just sons, whether it's sons and daughters. You know, the dope thing about my mom, like I said, was the fact that she was very affectionate. You know, she was affectionate. She loved me. She hugged me, kissed me, told me I was handsome. You know, built my self-esteem up, gave me this great confidence. Like just by parenting, not doing it like, hey, you look good, you okay, you know that, right? Nothing like that, but just like always talking about me. Not even just saying it to me, but on the phone, like, yeah, because my son is handsome, da da da. You know, just that good confidence. You know that you should give your kids, but also. She was firm as she needed to be. She told me straight up, like, yo, don't ever come inside this house telling me somebody hit you and you ain't hit them back. Don't ever let a teacher call me and tell me somebody hit you and you ain't hit them back. I don't care. If the teacher tell me that you told her, even if that's the rule, that's not my rule. So if I got hit in school and I told the teacher, I would have got in trouble at home. Because that's not the rule. The rule is that's not the rule. Somebody hit you hit them back. And it's a reason for that, and I'm gonna get into that in a second, right? A lot of times I often talk about, or I have this conversation where people feel like, you know, you shouldn't raise your sons and your daughters differently. You should raise them the same. And only reason why I disagree with that is because of why you're raising them, what you're raising them to be. I'm not raising my daughters to be men. Am I raising them to live without or not? Am I raising them to not need a man? Yes, but that's only because they have me. You know, I'm not there. I do want them to have a man. You know, I'm gonna give it a buck with you. I don't want them to, you know, have their nose up so high in the world that they can't be a woman, right? So with that being said, I feel like, and I said in my post as well that, you know, I knew that I was loved. I knew that, but I also knew that there would come a time where I would have to protect, and I was being raised to protect. That's where, hence, you get hit, you hit back. That's what that does is, somebody said today at the therapist thing I was going to, they was like, you know, you gotta get the help so that people can treat you a certain way, because depending on how you treat yourself, people will treat you that way as well. My point being, if, you know, people know, like, yo, don't F with him because he ain't gonna take it, or he ain't just let you hit him, or he gonna fight back, this, that, and third. It makes that protection job about 10 times easier. The fact that they know you're going to protect makes it a little 10 times easier. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong, right? But anyway, I say it to say, you know, I'm not really raising my daughters to be manly. I don't want them growing up to necessarily take the trash out. Can they take the trash out they want to? Yeah, why not? But if it's 9 o'clock at night and I'm in the house with them, I'm going to take it out, not my daughters. You know why? I'm the protector. If I had a son, my son would take the trash out. You know why? Because I'd rather my son go outside and take the trash out than my daughter go outside and take the trash out. You probably thinking, well, you know, it's trash, da da da. Yeah, but I'm thinking about what's outside. Who I'd rather fight? If I had a son, probably him. He's probably gonna be more physical, maybe. Just in a grand scheme of, let's just take statistics, right? Men are statistically, I guess, stronger than women, right? Me, if I got a woman, like, I'm gonna take the trash out rather than her take the trash out. That just makes sense. Like, if something's outside, I'm going to go check if it's outside rather than her check if it's outside. You know where that come from? That comes from kind of being raised a little differently. You know what I'm saying? When you're young and you're 16 and you feel away because you got a curfew and your brother don't have a curfew, it's a reason for that. You know why? Because if something happening outside, your brother's more likely to be the one to go check and see outside. I'm not sending my precious 16-year-old daughter. I'm not doing it. And it's going to be the same way, you know, if she was going out, I feel like sometimes men and just the world prey on women a lot. You got to protect them. So a lot of times people say, well, you shouldn't treat them differently. You shouldn't raise them differently. But even the protector in me would definitely treat my son differently. I'm sorry, definitely raise my son differently or in a different way than my daughter. I want to be real clear when I'm saying raise, not treat. Treat them the same. I love them. I love them. I love her. I love him. Treat them the same. I'm saying raise. I'm going to raise them a little differently, though. I'm sorry. If I've been saying treat, retract that. Treat them the same. All your kids, treat them the same. Love them all the same. Raise them accordingly. I want to raise my daughters to want to be protected. I'm not always going to be here. I want my nephews to protect. I want them to protect their sister, protect my daughters. I want them to protect. My nephew, I got a daughter. Maybe I'm older though, but I got, 2 daughters, and one of my nephews are older than one of them. If they both go out, I want him to protect her. Yes, I do. 100%. I love all my family. I love, both genders, of course. I'm not necessarily hard on one gender. It's just the fact that I know how it is. I've been that age. I know how it is when somebody's soft. And a lot of times people understand, raising that kid to be soft, that hurt them in the long run. Like, people prey on that as well. My mom, that raised me to be soft. She raised me to get hit and not hit back. She raised me to protect. She raised me to stand up for myself, protect. And that's what I've always done, right? So that's just that. I'll never tell somebody how to raise their kid. Like, do what you want to do, but just keep that in mind. Like, what are you raising your son to be? What are you raising your daughter to be? And think about that. I don't want my daughters to ever feel like they need a man, of course, but I don't want them to ever feel like a man is not important. I don't want them to ever feel like it's not important to be protected. I don't want them to ever feel like they have to protect the whole world, because I don't feel like that's a woman's priority. It shouldn't be to protect the whole world. You got to protect enough as a woman. That's just my opinion. I'm sorry, I went on a little rant, but it's just something that's been in my mind. I didn't do it thinking out loud last time, so I want to break that down a little bit. I want to break it down a little more with a therapist and something like that, but let me know what you think about that. Am I wrong? If anybody, as a woman, if you have a son and you watching this, right, what do you think about that? If you have a son and a daughter, do you think you should raise them the same? Do you think when your daughter's 16, if she should have the same curfew as when the boy is 16? Like, and tell me your thoughts and reasons why, because like I said, I don't have a son. It's probably easier for me to say that, but I was also a young man who had a sister that was right behind him, and I do feel like we both got treated the same, but raised differently because we both had different. We were being brought up to be different. My sister wasn't being brought up to protect, even though she's probably the strong person I know. She got lucky, got a trait, got the strong trait, the backbone. That's what's up. But just want to know your opinion on that. But nonetheless, raise accordingly. Obviously, if you got a soft son, then you probably ain't gonna be able to do that. Everybody not built like that either. We'll get into that later on too. Everybody isn't built to protect, but typically you do want the boy to be raised to be a man. And in the process of being raised to be a man is that protection, learning to protect. Just my opinion. Without further ado, let me play some music real quick.
We got the influence.
We're gonna play this song right here by Sabo, man.
Got the influence. We got the
Shout out to Sabo.
We got the influence. 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 If you wanna learn the game, shit, I can teach it to you. I look in your eye, I won't tell you no lie. If you want the truth, then I'ma bring it to you. But most people, they cannot handle it. Their ego's always in with damages. They heart palpitating, they panicking. When I got criticized, shit, I just ran with it.
I just ran with it, baby.
Nobody could say I ain't know what I was doing, but now I know my worth. So shit, nobody can use me. I won't let you take my kindness for weakness. Won't let you abuse me.
Nope.
You start acting different, then I'm dipping. I leave your ass empty-handed, stuck and clueless. You rather cross me for $100 when we could've made 100 mil. You think that you finessed a nigga, but you were just faking with me, but I kept it real. I'm in between spazzing out and staying calm. I don't know how to feel, but I'm focused more now than ever. So it is what it is. These niggas, they grown with envy, cause everyone say I'm their favorite. But my mission was to motivate, so how the fuck you want no hating? And I don't wanna be violent, but I know that it's a time and a place for it. But I influence a real movement, and you do not wanna play with this. Influence, we got the influence. We got the influence. We got the influence. We got the influence.
Hey.
We got the influence. We got the influence.
we all.
We got the influence. 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 We got the influence.
All right, man. Look, that was Sabo, Influence, off the Influence album. Dope song, dope individual, dope artist, by the way. Shout out to Sabo, man. Sabo World on iTunes, Spotify. Want the link? I put the link in the description, man. It'll send you right there. YouTube, Spotify, all Sabo World. You'll get it. Sabo's a dope artist. He was on a podcast too a while back when I would record at the crib. So shout out to Sabo, man. Shout out to Sabo, man. That's a dope artist, a dope individual. All right, so I do want to read a piece of that though. I listened. So Sabo sent me his link. Maybe we can go. Like I said, I do a lot of stuff, man. I work like 60 hours a week. So when I got the time, I definitely sit down and I listen to anything anybody send me. I promise you I do. And when I listen to the album, first of all, it's just 10 songs, so it's dope. Any album over 10 songs, I'm not gonna lie, man. You might can keep that. That's too long for me. But 10 songs, dope beat selection. Sabo's a dope artist. He can rap. So I listened to him. I'm like, okay, cool. Something happened this week, and I was listening to it, and I felt like it was speaking a little bit to me, and that was the verse that I heard. And I want to read a little bit of lyrics, and I want to kind of break something down real quick. So let me get that. He said, if you want the truth, then I'm going to bring it to you. But most people can't handle it. The ego always end up with damages. But when I got criticized, shit, I just ran with it. All right. I like that line, Sabo, first of all. All right. Okay. So I want to put something in a nutshell. I don't want to spend too much time explaining what happened, but I'm gonna be very direct in my response, just my thinking aloud to this. Right? How I responded to him, and I feel like I'm over it at this point, but it is what it is. So earlier this year, I had a guest on by the name of Trues, right? A rapper by the name of the Trues, and dope rapper, dope individual, very very decorated. Probably done did it all. Dope artist. Like I like his music, like his bars. He can rap. We had an interview. I thought it went pretty well, but obviously he went on another person's platform and he said that he is scarred from people asking him about posts in social media and Facebook or whatever the case may be, due to him wanting to come on, promote the album, and I guess he felt like he didn't get the chance to do that. All right. At first, I felt the way. I'm like, okay, that's a little wild, because it was conveyed to me a little differently. As I watched it back, maybe my third time, I felt like, you know what? Oh well, okay, cool. He can feel that way, right? As a man, I can't tell somebody else how to feel. I do feel like we did the interview, we did the podcast, we spoke for like 15 minutes afterwards. He chilled. I didn't get no vibe that he didn't like the interview. That's the thing. You sit with somebody for an hour and some change, y'all talk for 15 minutes afterwards, and it's like I didn't get the vibe that anything went wrong or that he didn't feel like it was a good interview, or he didn't feel like we didn't make a good enough content, or rather the case may be. So I don't know what else I could have done differently, but like I said, I messaged him already. I told him, look, man, I'm sorry you felt that way. You know, if we ever sit down again, maybe you sit down, you see and we'll talk about what you see as far as interview wise that you like and which direction you want to go, and we'll kind of, collaborate on that if that happens, right? Cool. 'Cause I'm a man. I don't care. Like, as a man, it is what it is, bro. Like, you're going to feel how you want to feel. But I do take pride in interviewing and what I do. So when somebody feels like they didn't get their just due or they got shortchanged, I want to rectify that, one, but I also want to know if it's something that I did or if it's just more something with that person, right? So I want to say first, I want to talk about my style of interviewing, how I interview. How I interview is unique to me. I don't necessarily interview about all the time what it is you're doing per se. Sometimes you come up here to promote something, and I want to talk about you as a person. I want to talk about you and things you said and done. I want to talk about you and interactions you have. I want to make you personable to that camera. I want the people that's watching it, listening to it, whatever they're doing, however they're conceiving this podcast, I want them to know who you are, right? What that does then is, if they are intrigued or interested in who you are, 9 times out of 10, don't give me the throwing statistics out because I don't know, but they may be like, yo, can you send me this person's music? Can you send me this person's art? Can you send me this person's information? A lot of time when I do a podcast, that's what happens. I get messages. Hey, can I get that person's contact info? Why? Because they were personable or whatever they said, somebody liked, and now they want to see whatever they're doing, whether it's massage, whether it's counseling, whether it's pest control. I have an array of guests on here. Hold on one second. I have an array of guests on here. And normally when I put it out, when I put certain clips out, people like those clips and they go from there. Clips come from social media. We are a social media driven society at this point. If anybody disagrees, they are not living in the correct society. You probably still in the 90s. Wu-Tang Days is over with. All right. With that being said, when I put the Truths interview out, I got a lot of feedback asking to listen to his music and for me to send them a song that I like by him, or send them whatever, because of his demeanor, his personality. A lot of people say he sounded smart, he sounded articulate, but he sounded a little cocky. And it was pros and cons of how they felt about how personable he was. But the main thing is people ask for the music. You know why? Because I sold the person. I illustrated something with that person. That's what I was conveying in my podcast. I was painting a picture of that person from this time to this time. He said something on the podcast about, I don't care about 2019, 2020. I'm about growth. This is the thing. You don't get the 2022 truths without 2019, 2020, or 2021 truths. Matter of fact, you don't get the 2022 main without 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018. You don't get to where you're at without the steps. You gotta crawl before you walk. That's crawling before you walk, right? So, yeah. And at the end of the day, the last time I had seen Truths, or in the podcast form, like him being in my podcast, had been about 2017, 2018 maybe. I can't remember the date. So, yeah, sorry if I'm bringing up 2019, 2020, 21. My audience has grown since then. I can't just pick up and say, okay, well, hey, let's talk about this, that, and third. I don't know. Also, within that interview was set up that morning. Like I said, I work at 8. I work 45 minutes away from here. 2 hours, just go back and forth is 2 hours, pretty much. Let's say that. Don't let it be traffic. I'll be working at 5 in the morning. Wake up at 4 in the morning sometimes, 4:45, right? So I'm up all day. By the time I got the message that he wanted to be in a podcast, I said, you know what, cool, let's do it. Make it done. I meet him today at 8 o'clock. I got to work tomorrow at 5 in the morning as well. I'm getting off work, getting in Augusta at 6 something, just to set up a podcast interview. We're going to do our thing for 8 o'clock, right? Just for, somebody to not really be appreciative of the interview, which is fine. I don't have a problem with somebody not liking it or feeling like, or being critical of the interview. I can take criticism. I'm a grown man. Don't have a problem with that. The problem I have is that as men, I do feel like we have to communicate a little better. Like, had he told me he wanted to just promote the album, then send me the album. Let me hear it first. It's no way you could think I'll listen to an album in an hour and then you come to the podcast. Like, it's not gonna work that way. So yes, I cultivate my interviews based on the person. I go to social media. I go to your Facebook page, your Twitter page, your Instagram page. I'm looking at things that you're posting because these are things that you're doing. These are things that are saying, hey, this is me. I don't know about y'all, but I use my social media to say, hey, this is me. I joke on social media a lot, so this is me. I like to joke. I like to post funny memes. I do podcasts. Believe it or not, guess what I do? I be sharing podcasts. I be sharing my podcast. Would you believe it? I share my podcast. I got a One Masters page. You know what I do? I post content on there. So when somebody say, yo, I went to your page, you know what they do? They say, I went to your page, I saw this guest, I saw that guest, I saw that guest. You know why? Because that's me. That's what I do. I do podcasts. I post my podcast on social media. We live in a social media-driven society. So that's what I do. I post my content on there. Okay. With that being said, when I go to my social media, I'm not thinking this is off limits. I'm not thinking that somebody's on social media and they're not them. These are your words. So anything that I did bring up, that I did ask, that I did talk about, these are your words. Unless you have a ghostwriter. You said somebody having a PR or a public assistant. I don't know what you said. Something like that. I don't really believe you do. But if you did, whatever, guys, you do need one. But if you did have one, all right, cool. Maybe not your words. I don't know. I didn't know that. If that's the case, and you didn't write those words that I asked you about posts and stuff like that, I apologize, 100%. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I didn't know you had a ghostwriter for making posts. But if you did, my bad. If you don't, then I still don't necessarily see the problem. These are your words, unless you just that's not you. And I get it, growth, cool. But you can also answer that way as well. You can say, hey, look, at that time I was going through X, Y, Z, but now I'm here. You know what that does? It shows growth that you're talking about, trying to show. So anything you wanted to convey, you could have conveyed in your answer. Whether you did it adequately or not, I don't know. I can't remember. But I felt good about that episode we had, right? That's just me, though. Let me get something to drink real quick. One of the problems I did have is I'll never tell a rapper to necessarily step your bars unless they ask me something to step your bar. I'm not gonna say nothing too critical on rap because I don't rap. I just like it. You said this in the Brandon one in the Cooks interview, and then you said it in Miles too, which I kind of I felt something then, but you mentioned journalism, right? And maybe you got your own idea of what journalism is, and that's fine. But nobody gonna be able to come on my platform and tell me how to orchestrate my interviews. I do my due diligence every time. Every guest that come on here, I'm not gonna know every single thing about them. That's why I have a mouth, they have a mouth. I got a mic, they got a mic, and I can ask them a question, and they can answer it, and that's how I get the information. At one point, I asked you a question. I remember you saying something. You was like, "That's journalism. You should do journalism." Or, "What's the next post?" I don't know, bro. I don't know. Like, you tell me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. You tell me. So the part of not liking the interview is touch up me. It's totally fine. It is okay to say, yo, I went here, didn't like it. I just felt like that's something I should have known firsthand. So we could have either did another one, we could have just scrapped it, we could have did a bunch of things to where I could have put something out that you were 100% comfortable with, and also you was behind. Why would I put, like, I do this, what I do it not for you, not for this person. I do it for the city, the Augusta. I do it for just the arts of things. So when I put something out, I want the person that's on it to also like it. I want them to be a part of it. I want them to be behind it. I want them to share it. I want to expand my brand as well through my guests. I want to show what Augusta has to offer through my guests. So if somebody's not behind the interview and they don't like what I'm putting out, or they don't like what we created, I need to know that so that we can either scrap it, redo it, which I don't really do redos, but redo it if it's applicable, or scrap it. But why would I waste my time? I just told you I work 10 hours, bro. Why would I waste my time putting an interview out if you're not gonna rock with it or you don't like it? And it's perfectly fine not to like it, but I need to know that, so I don't waste my time thinking you like it. I won't make clips. I won't make this. I won't do that. That's time and effort and energy I could put into my daughters, my job, extracurricular activities, another guest that's going to appreciate it. I could have did a bunch of different things, bro. Nonetheless, right, here's where I am with that, though, right? I don't necessarily agree with somebody going on the platform and trying to, not saying discredit, because I don't think nobody can discredit what I do, because I know what I do. One person not feeling the content we created out of hundreds of people I had on, it's a good percentage if you ask me. I'm fine with that. And I'm all for people feeling how they want to feel. Trust me, like that's not bothersome. It's just when you use words like scarred as if I did something, that's just bothersome. Or when you say, like, when you say, I don't mess with rappers and then you treat me that way, treat you what way? What way did I treat you? I feel like we had a conversation that I have with most people. I don't understand that, but what I will say is this. I'm not taking it personal for specific reasons. I watch people. I'm really in tune with everything that's going on, right? And I see a series of events that's been happening with truths, right? So, and I've spoken about it, whether you see it or not, I don't know. But my thing is this. I made a post the other day, and I made a post. I'm talking about posts, right? Because I made it, and it was my words. So I'm okay with somebody asking me about a post that I've made because it's my words, and it's me. I made a post, and it was to the effect of, knowing when something is bigger than me. And when I know something bigger than me, it is going to pretty much sway how I react to it, right? And this whatever's going on with Truths is definitely bigger than me. Because this is not, I'm not the only person that he said something about, or that he lashed out, or made these posts that he can't explain or don't want to explain about, don't want to talk about. I think that's what happens sometimes when you are in a space that you're not comfortable in, that you don't like. I think you say things you don't mean. I think you post things you don't mean to post. But when it's out there, it's out there. And I know hurt when I see it, right? So if this was just disrespect, it'd be different. I would feel a different way, right? But this ain't disrespect. I feel like this is more hurt. Whatever's he got going on is more hurt. It's more internal than I can. It's bigger than Jermaine. Like, it's bigger than Maine, bigger more than Masters. He got something else going on. I don't know whether it could be hurt. It could be he's bitter about something. It could be he feels down about something. It could be something internal he's just dealing with. I don't know. That is something that I can't clinically, you know what I'm saying, diagnose him with. But I will say this, man, like, as a person who I do push, I don't push, but, you know, mental health is for real, you know. But I'm cool with a lot of people that is in that field, or in that field rather. I would even, because the type of person I am, bro, I will pay for your first 3 sessions to get your help, whatever you need, bro. Like, but I've been saying that for a little minute now. This is bigger than me, so I'm not here to bash Truths, bash somebody. However they feel, they feel. But I do feel like when you see a pattern of somebody lashing out, somebody saying things they don't really mean, saying things they shouldn't say, saying things that they probably wouldn't say to you, which is another thing. But like I said, I'm not here to bash nobody. I'm not a bash. I'm not gonna use my platform to bash nobody. My platform is always gonna be to uplift every time. I don't care. I felt the way about it at first, but as I watched it, I felt like, you know what? This is somebody who's disappointed. I looked at it as a big thing. Like, maybe, you know what? He liked the platform. Maybe he feel what the platform is and what it could be, what it could mean. Maybe that's his thoughts. Maybe he had some kind of preconceived idea of how the interview's supposed to go, and it didn't go that way. Maybe that's it. I don't know. And I'm okay with all those other options, right? But I needed to know so that we could have made it right. But we couldn't do that because I didn't know. So I say to say, like, if it's something, this is something bigger than me. What he got going on, things he's been doing on social media, how he been carrying on, it's definitely bigger than me. It's bigger than me. So I'm okay with not responding like, you know, F you, F that. I ain't got time for all that. Like, I interview a certain way. If somebody want to come up here and get an interview and they want to interview a certain way, there's plenty of different people who interview the way that they may want to be interviewed. I interview my own way. I'm more personable. I'm more about person. We can do interviews about X, Y, Z. It's platforms for that. When me and Slim made it Slim, that's what that was for. That $150 that charge we had, it wasn't because I was trying to beat people in the head. It was, you're paying me to listen to the music now. I'm gonna listen to it back and forth about 3-4 times. Jot down stuff from your album I like, and I'm gonna ask you a question about the album that maybe did or didn't drop yet, but you gonna get your money's worth because that's what you're paying for. That's a business thing. If you want a business interview, a business-like interview, you know, let me know. But for me and what I do for More Than Masters, if you watch all my content, it's deeper than just business. It's deeper than just surface. I'm not a surface level interviewer. I'm not a surface level talker. I started this podcast off with thanking people who I definitely admire and like that they're doing. But then I went into something with motherhood, you know. Then I went into this. Like, this is deeper than surface level stuff. I don't sit up here and just chit chat. I said I made a post. And I'm okay with asking my post. It's okay to ask my post. I made a post, believe it or not, it's my own words, and I'm okay with answering to it, right? Or responding to my post. I made a post and I said that, you know, I paint pictures behind the microphone, and that's what I do. I try to paint pictures. Even just now, I could have easily just said, you know what, I'm gonna rip it, I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna go. I don't have time. Your words is heavy. The tongue is powerful. The tongue is powerful. Everything that I say, you gotta stand on it. That's another thing I think let me sit back a little bit. I'm getting comfortable now. Hold up. Yeah. That's another thing for me. Like, I'm so comfortable in the words I say and what I say and standing on everything that I say, regardless of who it's about and who it is, right? I'm super comfortable because I know how I'm built. A lot of times people say things and they talk, and this don't go to just Truths, go to anybody. They talk a certain way, they say certain things, and they're not really built to talk that kind of way. They're not built to have that type of aggression. They're not built to have that type of tone while talking about that type of person. I stand on 100% on anything I say, anything I do, any opinion I have. I will say it to the person's face, in person, on the phone, on live, off live, downtown, wherever. Like I'm down to do that. You know, the main reason for this Think Out Loud, and it's a little longer, is just because I want to tell people, like, when I'm doing this podcast, like this podcast and stuff, it's therapeutic. Don't get me wrong, definitely therapeutic. I love to do this. It takes my mind off a lot of things. It's therapeutic, to say the least. But when I do this podcast, I'm doing this so that when people watch it, they say, okay, damn, that's what Augusta got to offer. That's what Augusta got going on. So when I have a guest on, I don't play around. I'm not here to play with guests. I'm not here to make somebody look a certain way. I'm not here to make somebody feel bad, or I'm always here to uplift, promote, push forward, and just move forward everything. That's all I'm here to do. But when I paint these pictures, I can't help it if you don't like the picture that's painted. I'm painting real, raw pictures. Every picture I paint is real. Through the guests, through my Thinking Out Loud, it's real. If somebody feel a certain way, it's not to say that you can't not like something. Cool, you can not like a question I ask. You can not like that. That's cool. Let me know. We'll take it out probably. Because at the end of the day, it's about the people. When people watch more than the Masters, I want them to say, damn, Augusta got a lot to offer. Damn, he from Augusta? That's dope. That's a dope artist. Damn, they do that in Augusta? Or somebody that's from Augusta that don't know everything that's going on. Oh, damn, they got this counseling service. Oh, damn, that person do music. Oh, they sell that downtown. Oh, Humanity, what's that? Oh, okay, Karen Gordon. Like, I want them to open my page, my platform, to embody what Augusta is, which is why I don't want to get on here and ever bash somebody. I don't want to get on here and ever down talk somebody. I don't want to get on here and ever feel like because somebody says something, I got to take it personal. I don't take it personal. If I saw Trues tomorrow, I'm still going to ask him about it, but it ain't going to be no bad blood unless he wanted to be some bad blood. It's just whatever. He can feel how you want to feel. But that's just my thoughts on it, you know? I feel like, and I messaged him. I told him. Matter of fact, I even read the message just because I'm 100% real with everything I'm doing, bro. I don't play them kind of games. Like, I'm a grown man. It's certain problems I just can't have. I can't have certain problems. Like, I filled up my gas the other day. It was like $60-something. That's a big deal. I told you I live in Aiken, but I drive 45 minutes away. So imagine how much I got to gas up. You think I got time to have a problem with somebody? Because they don't like, come on now. Tighten up. Where's that? And I realized, I said, man, sorry to hear you didn't enjoy the interview. We did. I didn't know you wasn't feeling how I conducted the interview. My intention wasn't to scar you at all. You're talented as fuck, but also very interesting personality-wise. And that's what I attempted to illustrate. If we ever sit down again, we can discuss how you envision the interview or talk so that you're happy with the outcome. And he didn't respond, but whatever. The thing is this, I'm 100% man, I'm 100% real, I'm 100%. When it comes to Morning Masters podcast, I do not play around. I'm not here to play. I ain't here to make anybody look bad. If you feel like you look bad, it's two things. One, if I ain't do my job, please let me know, and I guarantee you it won't happen again. Two, you are you. I'm not painting no pictures of nobody that the ink ain't already setting on you. The ink is set on you at that point. So if you don't like something, that's different. But if you come here and you envision something, let me know. I always ask the guest, which is it anything you want me to ask personally, because I'm going to ask this, that, and third. I always give you a rundown of what's going to go down. Any guest can contest to that. I don't just turn the camera on and say, all right, go, and I'm going to make you look stupid, or all right, go, and we going to argue. No. But obviously, I am the type of person that when I interview somebody, if I feel like I'm not getting the best of you, I'm going to definitely question some of your answers. You know why? Because when my guests watch this podcast, I want them to know that I'm not just putting out some BS. What I mean by that is this. If I know for a fact that, you got booed on stage or something like that, and I say, yo, how this show went, and you tell me, yeah, man, it was all right, but, blase, 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 and you kind of brush past it. I'm going to ask a follow-up question to know, to tell you, like, yo, I know you kind of got booed, but, like, do you want to speak on that? That's just how I am. Like, I'm going to ask that. You know why? Because the fans want to know, the listeners want to know. People want to know that. I don't care, like, who you are, what you do. People want to know things, and they want to know that the interviewer They want to know that the interviewer is in tune with things. I hate watching interviews where I feel like the interviewer's not being real. I know they know more than they want to ask. I know that they know that question was BS. I need that to be questioned. I want quality content. I want good content on here. That's the thing, you know? And as it relates to any rapper, but I would say this, all rappers, if you got a project coming out and you want to do an interview with somebody and they set it for the same day, 9 times out of 10, they probably didn't have time to digest your album, digest your project, right? So when you have an interview with somebody and you want to really set one up, you know what you do? You, for one, send it to them either early or send them a few tracks so they know a little bit about the project, all right? You set it up for later date and you tell them, hey, look, I want to set this interview up for this time, but in the meantime, check out my music, blah, 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 and go from there, all right? 9 times out of 10, if you set an interview up the same day, it's no way I'm going to digest all that music by the time I meet you. It's just no way. So I don't know what else I could have did with the Truth interview. I don't know, like, I'm not gonna go back and watch it just to see what I could have did, but like me listening to his words, like I said, I know hurt from disrespect, and whatever he going through right now in his life is bigger than Maine, it's bigger than more than the Masters. So, like I said, I know I cut myself up earlier. Truth, man, I don't have no problem with you. I feel like, you know, you're not like an interview or you're not feeling the way about the interview. It's all cool. You able to feel how you want to feel. I'm here to support and help. I'm here to push. If you need some help, let me know. I'll get it for you. I just feel like you got a lot going on right now, and I know you better than how you're displaying yourself. To me, you're better than that. You know what I'm saying? You're a dope artist. You make good music, and you got a amazing / interesting personality. So I have no ill will towards you. I have no bad things to say about you. I just feel like, you know, to go up there, to go on somebody's platform and say that, you know, you're scarred by my line of questioning is wild to me. People have been on the same platform and they've alluded to things that I feel like was beyond disrespectful. You 30, I think, or something like that. One person came up here and said you had a caretaker. That would scar me. I don't know, like that's scarful to me. Me asking you about Facebook posts that you posted, Twitter posts that you posted, things that you said out your own mouth or that you written down, or I don't know how that's necessarily scarring you, but like I said, I can't think for you. You're your own man. You think how you want to think, man. Yeah, man. With that being said, you almost done. Yeah, you almost done. With that being said, man, another thinking out loud. Listen, man, I want to tell everybody all about positivity. All right, don't get me wrong. I could definitely think negative. I could say negative things. I just choose not to do it. I love the way I interview. I'm all for change. I'm all for criticism. It doesn't bother me not one bit. But like I said, the tongue is powerful. How you say things, how you deliver things, where you deliver things, it matters. I'm not going to get in this camera and talk about somebody who I want to uplift or who I want to see win. I'm not going to do it. I'm not talking bad about nobody I want to see win. I'm not about to go on somebody's platform and shit nobody at all. I don't do that. If I got something to say about you, and I don't like you, I say I don't like you, or I feel a way about you, or you do something that I feel like is dumb, I'm not going to say it on social media. I'm not going to dish you here. I'm not going to say your name and dish you. Now, I might call somebody and say, yo, that nigga's nuts. I'm not going to lie. I might do that, right? But I'm not going to publicly disrespect you or downgrade you, belittle you. Never. I'm not doing that at all. Before I do that, I won't say anything about you. That's just how I am. Because I'm really trying to push the culture forward. And the culture, I mean Augusta, Georgia. A lot of people are Augusta, Georgia. There's a lot of pillars in the city that make up the city and that make the city beautiful. We got some who don't, but that's neither here nor there. I just, like I said, man, I want everybody to win. It ain't gotta be me. I don't care. Shout out to everybody, man. Sit Down with Slims. Shout out to Brandon Cook. Shout out to Truth. Shout out to Humanitary. Shout out to Karen Gordon. Shout out to Band of Sisters. Shout out to Band of Brothers. Shout out to Natalie Bryan. Shout out to every single person who making moves, who doing something in the city. Shout out to anybody who came through here. Really, man. And also, and just the last thing is, whether it's out of town or somebody, I'm not going on by live. I'm not going on by these thing. saying something about somebody because you don't know how it's going to affect how somebody sway you. So reason why I wouldn't say nothing bad about Truth, because I don't know who's going to watch this and then say, damn, that sucks. They're already going to watch it and feel away, but this is just my side. His side is his side. His side may not be wrong. He may really be scarred for real. I think that's a poor choice of words. To say scar is just, to me, just over the edge. But he may be scarred. Maybe because he do feel like the platform was just great and he enjoyed the platform. If that's the case, like I said, my bad, my apologies. I already apologized to him, which I really don't do at all. Everybody know that about me. I don't apologize, but I'm 100% man. And I feel like people can feel how you want to feel. People can feel the way they want to feel about something. And I can't make him feel like I did my just due. I can't make him feel like I'm this great journalist. He said something about that too. I ain't getting to that, man. I'm pretty much done. I overtalked myself at this point. I think it's clear that I'm okay with how somebody feel about it. I just feel like, let me know. As a man, let me know. Communicate with me so that we can make it right. Oh, I'm sorry, that we could have made it right. But going forward, like I said, I know how to deal with certain people in their profession. You know what I'm saying? I got a rapper coming on soon. I ask him straight up, like, yo, you want to talk about how I do my things or you want to just talk about the album? Which one you want to do? And if I don't like it, I just won't put it out. That's just, it's just plain and simple. But, yeah, man, Morning Masters podcast. Look, man, I'm going to go ahead and look at the word journalism because I got to make sure I'm doing good journalist work because that's another thing he said in the podcast. That's the only thing I think that really I took as disrespect, and I don't know if Cooks did or not, but they asked him a question. He said something about do your journalism or do this, that, and third. I don't know. I don't really call it I do journalism. Somebody else might by definition. What I do, I call it just supporting the community. I'm just supporting the community, man. I interview, I support the community. But I will look it up, definition, just to make sure I'm not a journalist. Because if I am, I need to get paid more. You know what I'm saying? And I'll go from there. Once again, shout out to everybody. Go YouTube, Truth Nation. Go get his album. Go find his music. Find his videos. Dope artist. Sable World, dope artist. Go find his music. Find his videos. Sable World, link will be in the description, so go check that out. Shout out to Band of Sisters. Shout out to Natalie Bryan once again. Shout out to Band of Brothers. And this episode is sponsored by Quintessential Designs, ATB Remodeling at 2745 Tobacco Road. Seeing for all your laminate, countertops, kitchen remodeling, all that stuff, man. 2745 Tobacco Road, Quintessential Designs. All right, One Master Podcast, we out. My Slim Jim at? I ate it all? Oh. Let's see. Oh, let me turn this on.